So we've had to take this car today because the Audi it suffered an alternator fault. So yeah, it's quite good fun, to be fair. It's the Alfa Romeo GT, and it's been mapped. So the previous owner mapped it from, I think it's 170 brake, and it's around about 190 at the minute, so it's quite fun. So I'm sure that'll put a smile on my face today. So I just thought I'd have a bit of a brief open chat on how we're getting on with the Anglesey project. So it's going really well. We're actually somewhat on schedule. We're looking to get it done within these 6 months. The reason behind that is when you buy the property, we bought it in November, 1st of November, or I think it was like the 5th, we actually picked up the keys. So it means we've got till like May, yeah, the end of April, beginning of May. That's when the fees start kicking in for the bridging finance. So it's like after the 6 months, you've got like the best part of 1,500 quid in fees. So that's always the motivation to get it done quicker. You can't refinance before that. And I was explaining this to the electricians the other day. If you did it before the 6 months, you would then only get the valuation of the house for what you bought it and then what you've spent on it, not the profit in between. You know, you've bought it, you've refurbished it, you've increased the value, they wouldn't give you that increase. So yeah, we're working to this deadline. I'm managing people, getting the job progressed. It's going well, but you know, two of the biggest factors I've learned taking on this job, and I knew exactly what I was getting into, and I had a bit of this stress when I did up my own home. So when you're earning money and you're spending it and you're robbing Peter to pay Paul, it gets quite stressful. And I've got quite a high tolerance for stress, and I do somewhat enjoy it, but it can grate on you a little bit. So in terms of financing, you know, the business is making the money. Yeah, in future, the next project that we do, they always say the first project is the hardest. So the next one will have the refinance funds from this house, or if we sell it, we'd have more funds. But the idea is to keep it, because the 6 months of going without family, stress, the heartache, it's I think financially it's not worth it. It's not worth the stress, the aggravation, the hassle. So slightly jumping off topic, so funds, that type of thing, the next time we do another project, it'll either be fully funded through investors, that type of thing. It means you can progress quicker, you can have multiple trades in at the same time, you can have multiple projects going on every year. So yeah, I mean, it's going well, I can't complain. The struggles that I'm facing are, you know what, I'm not a builder, but I'm giving it a good go. I'm learning every day, and it's a case of, it's a whole business within itself, building, whole business within itself, project managing, it's whole business within itself, letting the property out, whether that be holiday lets, that type of thing. So you're consistently learning, and it's so much going in all at once, but it is a really good time. And I'll look back and I think, wow, you know what I mean, I'll look back now and I think doing really well. So at some point you've got to give yourself a bit of credit, a bit of pat on the back. But yeah, while you're here, you just got to keep grinding. You just got to keep going, head down, and yeah. James, electrician, he's in doing the first fix on the second house. He's going upstairs, working his way down. A complete mess at the minute, but it's organised chaos. I'm on with plumbing, so there's a little bit of working out involved. It's in my capabilities, so the most of it's like speed fit, it's all these push fittings. So we've got our stop tap coming in, we've got a cold running to the sink, and then you're going to have a cold feeding a water heater under there. We've got the return, this is the red, so we've got the return of the hot from the water heater going through. That will feed the shower, it'll also feed the sink, and it'll feed that wash basin. So just tested the water. We had, with these fittings, you can get, if you don't check them before they go in, sometimes the washers inside, whoever puts them together, the grommets can be a bit loose. So we had one leak here, and then we've got the cold going over, stop taps on all these, stop end I should say, not stop tap. And we had one leak over here, and that was just both of the same thing. We're good now, but yeah, it was just spraying it just because of one of the rubber washers inside wasn't quite right. And then we got one for the toilet, one for the outside tap. So I've got my new drill bit set, which is quite nice, nothing missing, not been used. I've got my dusty drill. So, only thing is, when your tools are lying about, and you do some grinding and that type of thing, quite quickly, this was a new drill a few months ago. It's not an issue, it's just, it's what its intended use is for. So I'm gonna put my drill holes in, raw plugs, screw that in, and then we'll have an outside tap which we can use for the caravans. Right, so we've got running water, got the outside tap on, happy days. Right, so we're on with the number 1 house, number 2 is finished, and we're going to run this waste pipe over into the corner. We've got the toilet going into that, and we'll have our sink running into that waste again. So we'll have that another Boss connector going into that. That'll be its own separate thing. I've exposed the stop tap in this number 2 bit, and it's been, you know how it is, these last few episodes you can go back and watch various bodges, cheap fixes, DIYs over the time and the last owner that's been here. So we've got concrete below and we've got copper running through it, which is a big no-no. Pretty much you'd have the copper, which will deteriorate, but there's not a lot we can do. If there was ever a leak, that type of thing, we would just run a new feed, and we know exactly where the location is of the outside incoming water pipe. So for now, not disturbing it, we're just going to go off this, move over the stop tap into the stud wall, and then happy days. So we've got our waste here, that's going into another drain. So we had previous existing toilet, that is like a mains water, but no, it's not actually. That's another soil stack which run into the upstairs toilet. And then there's another gully here, which would have been an old rainwater, because there was that was the original cast iron pipe. And then there's even another, so there's about 4 different gullies going into this one manhole. Right, so we've put a proper shift in today, and we've done about 7 o'clock this morning. It's now 8 o'clock. I've drilled my pipe ready for the waste for the sink. Just basically, I've just been doing all this. So yeah, for tea, I treated myself at the weekend and I got myself a slow cooker. So this is my kitchen setup. I know people like my cooking videos, so I pretty much just threw a beef brisket in, and literally some silver skin onions. Next week I'll prepare a bit more, and I'll get some like chopped onions, carrots, some potatoes, and I might even do like a bit of a lobbies. So Dave's generously give me some bread in exchange of some meat, and this has been slow cooking for the last maybe 8 hours. So about 11:30, put that on, and it's been smelling good all day. So I've had me tap wash like a feral human, and yeah, just gonna chill out now, edit last week's video, try and put that out there, and have some tea. So didn't start off very well, but yeah, ended on a high. So it's just perseverance, it's pushing through, just carrying on. So really pleased with how it's coming along, and I'm gonna show you, yeah, what we're testing out here is seeing if the Celotex will stick without the foil backing, because what we're having trouble is sticking these plasterboards on with just your normal adhesive, your plasterboard mix. It's not working, and rang the plasterer before and we said, you know, he said basically the foil will not stick with adhesive to the wall. As and when it comes to knocking on your skirting boards, it'll just bounce off and it'll come off. So what we have been using is this foam. See if I can find a can. So we've been using this. It's something similar to the stick saw that we stuck the boards together with, and this has adhered. You can't quite rely on this, so we're going to put some extra fixings on the landing, because yeah, just to make sure, like we've got screws and fixings and things, like this is going to be the handrail, so we've got some ply OSB behind, you know, so the handrail won't pull off when people are going up. But yeah, what we've done is we've decided to unpeel the foil. See if I can show you. So we've unpeeled the foil on that side, and we've used the adhesive to try it out. Now we did this, we left it for like an hour, not quite gone off, but it stuck and it did take some force. So tomorrow we're going to see how that gets on, bigger piece. I'm going to try and pull that off, see how that works. It defies the objective of insulating a wall if you're peeling off the foil on one side, but this is it. It's all well and good saying you need internal insulation, you know, building regulations are going up, but as and when and where it's practical. So yeah, one of the experiments we tried yesterday was the foil back insulation board that we DIY'd to save money and to stick together. We was mentioning that it's basically £40 a board for the 12.5mm plasterboard and the 25mm PIR. So by sticking them together we saved £10 on each board, and you can remember we had about 37 of them, so it was a decent saving. We tried the method of peeling off the foil, and on a smaller piece it works, it goes really well, but when it comes to taking off the foil on a large piece, this channel's all about learning from mistakes, not doing what I do. What we've since come to realise is the insulated plasterboard that you can buy literally just doesn't have the foil on the back. So let me show you what I've been up to. So in a bit of a, not a fit of rage, but just not getting anywhere fast, that is 20 minutes. I can't spend all my time going through all them doing that. Peeling this stuff off is painful. I'm just not doing it. So just trying out different methods. Dave goes, oh, just try this heat gun, you know, because he's going round doing the flash bander in the floor just to seal all of the damping. And I'm going to show you on the next one, because this is a bit crap. I've already peeled most of it off, but it does come off really, really well. So there we are. Peeling off that foil is no other word to describe it. But yeah, it's about 15 minutes I spent per one. So yeah, I've got a few hours though. So yeah, happy days. Right, so I've had a bit of a revelation, a rethought on this plasterboard situation. By every which way that we do it, it's a pig. We thought everything was alright yesterday when we was fitting these boards. Some of them was coming off with the plasterboard adhesive, and we started using the foam, which is good, it's working. But when the plasterer came, he said don't rely on that foam too much, because over the course of like 2 years, that type of thing, if the house is temperatures dropping and rising, it'll sweat, and you know what I mean, it'll come off, you know, it'll bounce off. So he said don't rely on it too much, it's not that good of a stuff. It's sticking pretty well, and it's, you know, you're pulling at it and it's doing its job. It's just when someone's in that profession puts the fear of doubt into you, you start thinking of ways to obviously resolve the problem. So we started peeling off all this film, and the reason why we've stopped doing this is because the foam board, I'll show you. So the foam board is bending. You've got one foil on one side and you've got the foil on the other side, and they're both pulling and contracting to keep it straight. So when you're pulling the foam off, you can see how uneven it is, and it's curling up in every different corner. So when you come in to put your plasterboard on, they need to be flat for a reason, because when you come to skimming it, it's going to be like a Mexican wave. So that isn't a good solution, it's not working. So we're back to the drawing board, and what we've got is we're carrying on as we were with what is working. We're using the plasterboard adhesive foam, which is sticking, and to combat any further issues, you can get a product which is, it's called raw plug installation fixings. Because there's a gap on some uneven walls, we're going for quite a long one. So basically it's like one of those raw plugs. It's like one of those, if you can see it. And the only difference is it's longer, like a big raw plug, and it's got a steel pin which you hammer into it, and it'll knock itself in. So this is what we're looking at. It's an order in, so Screwfix have these in, and they're not too dear, so 60 quid for 250. So yeah, that will give us the peace of mind. Like you say, it's bonded on, but you just don't want, I just don't want a plasterboard to fall down, because it's going to make a big mess, and I don't want problems in the future. So we're over engineering everything to save ourselves time, headaches in the future. So that is going to save the day. This will be ordered in and we'll get these next week. What is a very windy day in Anglesey. We've got the First Fix electrics. James has done a cracking job, and we have, oh, car's going off, better just undo. Car's going off. Right, so in here we've got our electrics. So we've got 8 spotlights in here. We've got TV power. We're going to have a Cat 6 going up there. We're going to have some trunk in here. All our main fuses going down there. Sockets, rad. We're going to have like a bit of a mural there, so we're going to have a spotlight angled on that one. Plugs there. As you're well aware, we've got kitchens. We've got sink, oven, fridge, washer, all that good stuff. We've come up with a cracking idea, and mutual decisions were made. We're going to have up lighting on the stairs facing that way. So that's going to look really cool. That will be switched on at the same time as the under counter of the kitchen lights. And then upstairs we've got all our first fittings. So light switches, TVs, bedside lights, plugs, and for the fridge. So this is a before, and in here is the after. So it's all nice and clean. You can see the room layouts. It's a lot less drafty up here. So we're going to have another LED strip up here, multi-changing for the kiddies room. Oh, it's going to look awesome. It really is. It's going to be something spectacular. The electrician, it's like, here, we don't fit LEDs, that type of thing. It's not common practice over here on the island with the jobs that they do. So as we have been getting plastering quotes, that type of thing, they're going to be coming in doing it on a day rate. These purlins here they had the idea. They said, oh, wow, you should do them in black. I said, black? Says maybe white. So your thoughts? I'll put a question out there for you guys on YouTube. These purlins here, it's going to be white in here mainly. I'm going to have some nice feature walls, some good colours. Ideally, we're looking for an interior designer at some point in the future. So these purlins, white or black. It's got to be oil-based paint because we've got nails, woodworm holes from previous, different coats of paint which we will sand off, holes and stuff. We're just going to leave it raw. We don't want to mess with it too much, but ideally we want it all one colour. So yeah, black or white or even grey. So that's it for this week. Decent progress, highs and lows, that type of thing, as per usual. As always, if you like the content, give us your thoughts, whatever you're thinking, put it in the comment box, let me know. And yeah, any comments, I'll reply to each one. I always like doing it throughout the week. It's quite funny what some of you guys put, makes me laugh. And yeah, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. So that's it, that's everything for this week, and see you on the next video.